Hello and welcome back to a new vlog. My name is Bailey. I'm a fourth year, fourth grade teacher, and today we are starting off a week in my teacher life vlog. It is Monday, 7 o'clock, and I just got to school. Normally, I don't vlog on Mondays. Mondays are normally super productive. I get in and kind of get myself organized and set up for the week ahead. This week, I'm really excited to get in and get the vlog started. So it's Monday and we're picking up the camera. First thing I'm doing this morning is responding to some parent emails. I sent out in my e-blast last week a little note if anybody was interested in helping out with our Halloween party to email me and let me know. So I got a few responses and I'm going to email them back this morning and get that rolling. The other thing that I need to do before school right now is to make some copies. We need to do our Unit 2 screener today in math. We finished Unit 1 last week, so we're going to screen our mathematicians today, see what they know before we move forward with Unit 2. I need to print that off though. Just printed that and that means I'm fully ready for this morning and today. I'm gonna go grab that really quick. I picked up the screener, so that's ready to go for this morning. The last thing that I need to do this morning is start grading their Unit 1 assessment. I need to have that data in by tomorrow, so I'm going to start grading it right now. I did bring it home with me to grade over the weekend, but I just told my teammate I bring things home, and then once I'm home, I'm living my life outside of school. But sometimes I think, oh, I could just bring it home and grade it, and it never gets done. So I did bring this home, but it did not get done, and that's okay. I have some time right now that I can get it done, graded, that way I can put it in this afternoon and it's ready for our meeting tomorrow. I'm going to pull up the answer key and start. I'll probably be grading this until my kids come in this morning, so I will check in with you at lunch. I just dropped my kids off for recess and I'm so hungry, so I started eating my lunch, but I'm going to take a break from it to chat with you for a couple minutes. I'm really happy because I got all of my assessments in this morning. I graded them all and then I had to input them into our data website. And then we also took the Unit 2 screener this morning. So I was able to grade that and put it in during my plan time. All of that is squared away and we obviously use that data to help plan our instruction in the next unit, talking about small groups in the classroom and then also our intervention group. So that's our meeting for tomorrow. We're going to get together as a grade level with our math coach and intervention team, and we're going to talk about the groups going forward in the next unit based on the assessment and the screener. But now, during my lunchtime, I'm really working on getting ahead of my lesson plans and copies for next week. This is a little bit earlier than I would normally be focused on this. I'm really hoping to honestly get it all done today because we have conferences next week, and starting tomorrow, I really need to get going on our glows and grows for conferences. For each conference, I put together a slide for every student, and on it just has some check-ins about their behavior, and then I also have general glows and grows that I add a few to on that slide. So in order to start that tomorrow, I really want to make sure that all my lesson plans and copies are done for next week. So that is what I'm going to spend my lunchtime doing, and honestly most of my lessons are already plugged in, so the majority of this time will probably be spent making copies, and it's 4.5 days, so it should be easy enough. That's my goal, to get it done in the next 45 minutes. If I can get it done, I'll check in with you before they come back from lunch, but it might be after school depending on how much I can get done. We'll just have to see. We just wrapped up the school day and I came back and very quickly reset my whiteboard for tomorrow. I don't have bus or pickup duty this week, so I was able to come back and do that right away. I also wanted to mention, I don't think I came back on here, but I did finish my lesson plans and copies for next week, so I'm feeling really good about that, especially with conferences coming up. I was able to email a few adults at home, making sure that they were able to sign up for our conferences, trying to schedule the last couple conferences. So tomorrow I'm going to really start to get to work on my glows and grows, and I'll chat about all of that. Overall, great Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. I just printed my writing lesson for today, so I'm officially ready to roll for today, which means that I am going to get started on prepping for conferences. I want to show you what I'm doing for our fall conferences. I have a little slide that I put together and share with their adults, so I'm going to show you that right now. This is the slideshow that I use for our fall conferences. At the top, I just put the student's name, and then right here we have all of the different essential learnings that are on their report card regarding their behavior as a classroom community member. On here, same as our report card, I'm just giving them a B for beginning, D for developing, or S for secure. That way I can give the adults a little check-in. And then we go into our grow and glow. Our district requires us to provide a grow and glow for these conferences. I'll do 1 or maybe 2 grows and then a couple glows for each student. I just type it there in the box. I'm able to print this off and have a copy in front of me for the conference, as well as hand one out to the adult that's coming to the conference. And then grows and glows can be really anything. I try to keep those more academic focused because I can talk about behavior and things up here. So I try to keep these things focused on their academics. We just did our first math test. We're wrapping up our first writing pieces. We're well into science, and then wrapping up our first and second units in reading on top of just finishing running records. So I have, of course, a lot to chat about, a lot to choose from when I'm doing my glows and grows. First thing I do is I make a little slide like this. We have conferences on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I'll go through and put their names in order all throughout here. I make a copy of this with their name on it, and then I'm able to insert it into the schedule over here. This way they are all together in one document when it's time for conferences. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look at my Sign Up Genius. I'm going to start to put their names in order on here, and then I'm going to make the template. So I'm going to make copies, add their name, put it in this document, make a copy, add their name, put it in this document. And from there, I'll be ready to really get started on filling out the different slides for each student. Like I said, I have conferences on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Normally my district will say Wednesday evening, and then Friday we have a half day, so that afternoon will be dedicated to conferences. This year they've given us the option to do conferences at any point throughout the week. So I've decided to do mine Monday evening a little bit, Tuesday, and then a longer night on Wednesday, the normal time for conferences. I always have conferences that don't show up for whatever reason, so I'm able to finish those on Thursday and Friday is my hope. I really don't like when they go into the next week or two after conferences, so I'm hoping that getting them done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will leave me that little time on Thursday and Friday to wrap up any last minute conferences that need to be done. That way we don't have to extend into the next week. I'm going to sit here and get what I can get done. I do have a meeting before school this morning, and I also have a meeting during my plan time. So many meetings, but hopefully I will be able to check in with you at lunch, and all of my templates at least will be done. I also have a full day meeting tomorrow. I am part of a team in my district where we put together the planning guide and supplemental packets for our science curriculum. Our science curriculum had a couple new mysteries and things added this year, so we're going to meet tomorrow and put all of that together. But obviously I need to finalize my sub plans and get that all ready. I think that I'm going to stop in the morning. I do live a decent amount away from my school. Right now it's taking me like 40 minutes to get here. If I'm coming to the district anyway, then most of the time I'll just stop by my school, make sure that my computer's logged in and set everything up for the day, and then go off to whatever other building I need to go to for my meeting. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow, but I still want to have everything, of course, ready to go before tomorrow morning. That'll be my job during my lunchtime, I guess, because I don't have a plan today. But like I said in my last video, I have my sub binder that makes things much easier, and then I also have a template that I'm just popping some plans into. Should be pretty easy, but I'll see you at lunch to get some work done on that. Hello, it is lunchtime right now. It's actually been lunch for a little bit, but I had to go off to a quick meeting. I printed my sub plans for tomorrow. They're all ready to go. And then I also made a copy of a math review page that I'm leaving in my plans for tomorrow. Like I said earlier, I just print off my plans. This says everything very detailed that they're going to do throughout the day. I also leave it in a slide format. That way my students can see it as well, exactly what they're expected to do. So I went through and filled out everything for tomorrow is ready to go. Then I set out any materials that they might need throughout the day, and I just label it with the subject. I'm gonna go through and make sure that I included everything that I needed to. For math, I left a review page, so I'm just gonna leave this right on my desk. It says math review page. That way everything is very clear. Don't need to leave anything for writing. For reading, I leave my notebook because every day I do an example response for my students. I ask them to respond to something throughout their reading time based on our lesson that day. So I always do a response to show them. So I just have my example for what I'm asking them to do tomorrow. I'm just going to leave this. And again, I have my building sub, so she knows all of this very well. I don't need to leave anything for science or read aloud, so that is it. I'm going to pull out my sub binder. I just have to leave 2 things fully ready for my sub tomorrow. This is how I'm going to leave it. I have my sub binder with all the important information, my plans very specifically laid out, and I'm also going to log in the morning. That way my kids can see them throughout the day, and she can use them throughout the day. I have the math thing, the reading thing, and that is it for tomorrow. Right now, I'm also going to share the digital version of my sub plans with any of the supporting staff that my students work with. That way they know I'm going to be out tomorrow and they know exactly what my students are going to be doing while I'm gone. They can support as necessary. I'm going to share that with them right now, and then with the rest of my lunchtime, I'm just going to keep working on making the slides for the glows and grows. I did not finish making the templates yet, so I'm going to work on that right now. It'll probably take me at least until whenever they come back, and I'll check in with you after school. I did not get a chance to come back on here yesterday after I said goodbye to my kids for the day. I came back and had to very quickly write an email, call a parent. So when I was done with that, I was ready to go for the night. I'm here this morning to get everything finalized to have a sub for today. Like I said, I'll be out the whole day. And I actually got here and just got right to work. I didn't film any of it. I was filming for Instagram, so maybe I'll include some clips. But I got in and worked on my little to-do list that I made for myself yesterday. I had to switch up one thing in my plans. I got my slide up and ready to go. I filled in my whiteboard for today. Everything is set out as you saw yesterday, which means that the room and everything is fully ready for my sub today. The last thing I need to do is go write on my teammates' boards because we switch. So every morning we just go into each other's rooms and write a little brief description of what we're doing in our subject that day. So I need to write fossils just like I did on my board, but then I also need to add that they need to bring their Chromebook. I'll write that on there too. I'm gonna go do that right now, and I think I will be off for my meeting. I obviously won't be able to film. I won't have a planned time. I'm not sure what lunchtime will look like, but if I don't check in at some point today, I'll see you tomorrow. Thursday this week is our last day with students because tomorrow we have a professional development all day. Because it's our last day this week, we are not rotating, so I decided to do a few projects to prep for conferences. I'm definitely feeling behind on being ready for conferences. I have really not started my glows and grows, so I will 100% be working on those over the weekend. I imagine we'll have some time on Friday, but I'm not sure how much, and I have a lot to do, so I'm kind of preparing myself for that. And then ready or not, my conferences start on Monday. I'm doing a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But back to what I was saying, we're going to do a project this afternoon. We're going to do the monster multiplication craft. Let me show you. I've done this craft the past couple of years, and then I put it on their locker for conferences. My monster is kind of squished, but this is what it looks like. They get to choose their own equation, and then they do an array, talk about the different groups, repeated addition, showing the groups. And I bought this. None of this says where I bought it from, but I know it was on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I'll link it down below. There are a bunch of different monsters. This is the one I did that you can choose from. So I have monster number 1 printed in 2 different colors, number 2 in 2 different colors, number 3 in the 2 colors. I won't need to make any copies of the monster faces. I will need to make some copies of this right now. I also need to cut some black construction paper to make it a little bit thinner. That way it fits onto our lockers. So I'll do that this morning. And I need to cut some eyes. For some reason, I thought that there were some that were smaller than this. Let me check on that. And then when they're done with that, I also have this really fun activity from Twinkle where they can create their own Halloween costume. Get them brainstorming if they have not already. I'm sure most of them have, but I thought this would just be something fun when they're done with their monster multiplication craft. And obviously, I haven't prepped any of this monster craft, so that's the first thing that I'm going to do this morning. Then I need to straighten up the room a little bit after yesterday. It's actually looking really good in here. I just have a few things that I need to put away. because I had left them out. Let's get to it. Forgot, I just looked in my bag. I have one of Emily's birthday presents, came late. This is from Pink Lily. They have such cute teacher tees, so I grabbed this one for both of us. We like to get teacher tees that match, so I got this one for her birthday, and I'll give this to her this morning. We might even wear that tomorrow. I also got just the best sub note. I have the sweetest class that's always super relieving to come back to. Okay, here it is. Oh no! I wonder if this means her shop is down. That's a bummer. This is where I got it from, but I don't know if you can get it anymore. Oh no! I did see a few other Monster Multiplication listings on there, but not the same exact one that I have, so I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot I have to print all the arms and legs. I always print extra of the arms and legs because we make some mistakes. Always print extra of these. And then yes, there are a little smaller eyes, so I need to print those. I feel like I have enough of the bigger ones. Let's do a few. I should probably just print this whole thing just to have it as a hard copy, just in case. Okay, I'm printing a hard copy of the whole project. And let me check my plans. Make sure I don't have to print anything else for today. All these lesson plans and copies were done last week, but of course I change things throughout the week. Add things in, take them out, shift them around. And yes, I did make a checklist for our writing that I forgot about, so I need to print these. All right, all set for today. And next week's copies I have already done. So I need to go grab all that. Arms and legs. Here are the bigger eyes, adding that to the ones I already had. The little eyes, cut these right now. I have the full hard copy of the activity. And then I have my little checklist for writing later today. I don't exactly trust myself with the cutter on these. This is gonna be so fun. Ready for today. It's lunchtime now and I just dropped my kids off. We had a really good morning. They were able to finish their test up from last week in math, and then we started typing our realistic fiction stories, our drafts, which is always very interesting when we start typing like that for the first time. That took a little bit longer than we expected, and we had a little less time of reading, which is okay for today. And then during my plan time, I was just working on grading that math. That way I can get it in as soon as possible. I'm trying to eat my lunch really quickly today because I'm going to go run a quick errand. I am working with Twinkle over on Instagram, and they have this deal going on where if you use one of their resources and share it to social media, then they are treating some teachers. They're treating me to a Starbucks today to share that out, so I need to go grab that. That way I have it for our activity this afternoon. This is the one I chose, but they have a lot of really fun Halloween and holiday themed activities on their site, so I'm looking forward to my treat and doing that activity with my kids. We're also doing that monster multiplication activity, and that's all ready to go. I shared it with my teammates too, and they're gonna do it, so our lockers will be all decorated for conferences next week. But I'm gonna go and eat this really quickly so I can go grab that treat. I will check in with you this afternoon. I had to change into my emergency backup shirt earlier because it was so hot in here. But anyway, I just said goodbye to my kids for the weekend. We don't have school tomorrow, so they have a long weekend while we're in professional development. The Twinkle activity went so well, and so did their monster multiplications. Those are on their lockers. I'll insert a clip here if I can. I'm gonna worry about resetting the board tomorrow. I noticed that I have like an hour in the afternoon where I can work on things in my classroom, so I'm gonna reset the board, worry about that tomorrow, and then I really need to get going on my glows and grows tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna head home. We have meetings at another building in my district tomorrow morning, so if I can, I'll check in at lunch, but definitely before I leave tomorrow for the weekend, and I'll let you know what I got done and how things are looking for next week at the end of the day tomorrow. Happy Friday. Just got back to my school. We had a meeting, like I said, this morning at another one of the buildings in my district. We had a grade level meeting, so all of the 4th grade teams got together. We were talking about one of the math essentials this morning and how our curriculum aligns with that. Just talking about how things are going in the classroom so far this year. We have an hour break for lunch, so I just got back to my classroom and get my lunch out. I just got this new lunchbox from So Young, same brand and style as my backpack, so I've been loving having this. Normally I would be going out to lunch with my team or friends on a professional development day, but I packed my lunch today because I have never been this behind getting ready for conferences. I still really have not prepared any of my glows and grows, so I'm going to be working hard over the weekend. I actually don't think that I've shared, but my husband just graduated PA school, so he's working now as a PA. He's in his orientation training, so his schedule's kind of all over the place. He'll be working during the days this weekend, so as much as I do not like that, I have a lot of things that I need to get done, so I'll be using my days this weekend to get my work done. I'm not really sure what we're doing this afternoon at my school. I know we have a few different meetings. I think one of them is an SEL focused meeting. I'm not really sure what else, but I'll be basically in meetings for most of the afternoon, and then I have an hour at the end of my day where I can be in my classroom. Sorry, camera died. Basically, I need to get to work anyway. I'm gonna sit here and work on my glows and grows, and then that's what I'll probably be doing the last hour of the day as well, but I'll check in when I can. We did finish Tales of a Fourth Grade Napping this week, so I don't know for sure when I'm going to start for Read Aloud next. I'm going to kind of think about it this weekend and probably on Monday before I fill it in, but we just obviously finished up our meetings for the day. I wanted to reset this really quickly, and I piled a few things that I need to bring home to work on my glows and grows. I'm bringing their math test and then their running record data. I also have all of their drafts of their stories that they've started typing, so I can look back at those on my computer. I brought some notes that I've taken kind of as the year has gone on, so I'm going to use all of that to work on them this weekend because, like I said, I have those conferences that are starting on Monday. It is about 4 o'clock, so I'm going to get out of here. I will obviously be working over the weekend, but I'm going to end the vlog off here. I hope that you enjoyed coming along for a little bit more. I think it'll end up being a little bit more of my week than I have been in the past. Try to start it off on Monday and make it a little bit longer, but we'll see how it turns out. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in my next one. It will probably be all about conferences and vlogging through conference week. I will see you then, and thank you for watching.